This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome to the late night news. I'm Ramanathan. Let's get you all the top stories we're tracking tonight. Another fisherman killed by the Sri Lankan Navy. Chief Minister furious announces 3 lakh rupees compensation for the fisherman. Prostitution racket shocks Chennai. A minor girl rescued in a flesh trade racket busted in the city by the CBCID. 4 pimps sent to jail. After NDTV Hindu's report on students of engineering turning brokers, MGR deemed university promises action against students. A top telecom executive from Chennai found dead in a swimming pool in Mumbai. Police investigating the case.
वेरीफाई कर रहे हैं अभी हमने इसमें एक्सीडेंट डेथ रजिस्टर किया है वी आर वेरीफाइंग ऑल द फैक्ट्स.
Jayalalitha launches an attack on the state healthcare system, says that the government general hospital in Chennai is not hygienic enough. Well, the final FIFA battle is here. Spain creates history as they beat Germany by a goal to enter the final for the first time. And for you radio buffs, the only English radio station in Chennai city, Chennai Live turns 2. Well, days after the Sri Lankan administration promised that they will not attack Indian fishermen even if they stray into their own waters, a fisherman hailing from Nagapattinam district died of cardiac arrest after Sri Lankan Navy personnel attacked the fishing boat he was travelling on last night. The Navy snatched the belongings of the crew, including the nets and a GPS system, in mid-sea yesterday. The deceased fisherman was identified as Chellappan, who ventured into the sea for fishing along with 12 others from Nagapattinam. The Chief Minister seems to be on a serious offensive after this. Mr. Karunanidhi has strongly reacted to the death of the fisherman. He has announced a 3 lakh rupee compensation for the fisherman, and in fact the CM has also written a strong letter to Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, the Home Minister, Defence Minister and External Affairs Minister. He has also said that the DMK's fishermen wing will go on a demonstration outside the Sri Lankan High Commission here in Tamil Nadu on the 10th of July to protest the attacks on the fishermen. In a statement, he said that this is not the first time this has happened. It has become a common phenomenon in mid-sea. We have approached the central government several times with letters and the issue has not been addressed. Now we have demanded immediate intervention of the central government and demanded strict action against the arrests and killings. Well, our political reporter Shabir Ahmed joined us with more on that reaction.
It was unexpected that Chief Minister will react in such a strong manner, because in fact what we have been seeing for the past several years is that immediately whenever an attack happens, Vaiko will be the first one to condemn it, and after that it will be followed by the main opposition party leader Jayalalitha. But now this time Chief Minister has jumped his guns right now to protest, and he is on a warpath with the central government on this particular issue. In fact, he has announced 3 lakh rupees compensation, and in this matter is something which is of a serious concern. And in fact this has come at a time when Rajapakse has actually signed an agreement with the central government just a few days ago, saying that there will not be any attacks on the Indian fishermen if they even venture into the seas. That is something quite clear, but now it seems the situation is entirely different at the ground level, and in fact some people even say that this attack has come just days after Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi passing a resolution at the World Classical Tamil Conference over the Sri Lankan Tamils issue, and in fact it was also a strong demand placed before the central government by Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi once again in that international conference, saying that a political solution must be found to the Sri Lankan ethnic crisis. So something perhaps it could have been doing for that. It could have been a reaction from the Sri Lankan Navy. That is what some people say, but we will have to wait and see. And tomorrow there will be some other political reactions from parties like the PMK, AIADMK and MDMK. But this time Chief Minister has jumped the gun, and this time he has also announced a massive demonstration right in front of the Sri Lankan Deputy High Commission on 10th of this month. So clearly Chief Minister is in no mood to relent over this issue.
Right, meanwhile, a cold war is now on between the Sri Lankan government and those supporting the Tamil cause. And all this is over the three-member panel appointed by the United Nations to probe allegations of human rights violations by the Lankan government. The United Nations building in Colombo is under siege and a Sri Lankan minister is on fast unto death. In Chennai, supporters of the Tamil cause today marched to the UN office in support of the UN panel on war crimes, stating that only this can provide justice to thousands of innocent Tamils who lost everything during the war.
Dramatic scenes outside the UN office in Colombo. Hundreds of pro-government supporters attempting to storm the United Nations building. Led by this man, Rajapaksa loyalist Vimal Veerawansa, who is on a fast unto death until the United Nations dissolves the three-member panel formed to investigate alleged human rights violations during the LTTE war. While Colombo boils, a section of people in Chennai is showing its support to the United Nations panel, with many pro-Tamil groups demanding that the Sri Lankan president be brought to book for his role in the war. In a symbolic gesture, they presented roses to the UN mission staff here in Chennai.
அங்கே நடந்த இனப்படுகொலையை கொல்லப்பட்ட உயிர்களை அங்க நடந்த கற்பழிப்புகள் இதுக்கெல்லாம் நியாயம் கிடைக்கும் நம்ம நினைக்கிறோம்.
But it's not just supporters in Chennai. Even the United Nations has been critical of the way Sri Lankan authorities have let Rajapaksa's cronies lay a siege on the United Nations building in Colombo. Soon after this man, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon visited Sri Lanka, a panel was constituted that surely did not go down too well with the Lankan government. Well, this is because of the nature of the three-member panel that has been set up by the United Nations to probe allegations of war crime against Mahinda Rajapaksa and his entire war machinery. The panel is to be chaired by Marzuki Darusman, an Indonesian attorney who is also the United Nations Special Rights Investigator to North Korea. The second person is this man, Steve Ratner, an American lawyer known for his strict advocacy for accountability during war. But the Sri Lankan government is most wary of this woman, Yasmin Suka, a former South African member of the commission that investigated atrocities during the dark period of apartheid in South Africa. Now, this panel has been specifically asked by Ban Ki-moon to give its assessment on the efforts made by Mahinda Rajapaksa to fulfill his promises on human rights accountability that he made in the aftermath of the war with the LTTE.
We take this quite seriously, and anything that hinders the movement of staff is a serious concern. And
clearly, the United Nations move of constituting the panel has sent the Lankan administration into a tizzy. As Tamils in India raise the pitch for justice across the seas in Sri Lanka, the truth of war that killed thousands of innocents may not be out so soon. Sai Manish for NDTV Hindu.
Well, AIADMK General Secretary Jayalalitha today came down heavily on the government's healthcare system in the city. She said that the state's premier health institute, the Government General Hospital, is crumbling and has failed to deliver quality care to the poor and the needy. She also said that the GH has dumped bio-waste in its premises, lacked in amenities like oxygen cylinders and had problems with its facilities like non-functional lifts. Besides, the angiogram machine at the hospital has been out of order for the past 6 months. She alleged that the heart patients were being sent to Government Stanley Hospital, which also suffered from similar problems. And reacting to these allegations of rampant corruption and the mismanagement at the government hospitals, the health secretary today said that all measures were being taken to curb this menace.
அது போன்ற கம்ப்ளைண்ட்ஸ் வர இடங்களில் விசாரணை பண்ணி நடவடிக்கை எடுக்கிறோம். நிறைய மருத்துவர்கள் மீது நடவடிக்கை எடுத்துக்கிறோம். பணியாளர்கள் மீது நிறைய சஸ்பென்ஷன் போன்ற நடவடிக்கைகள் நிறைய நாள்தோறும் எடுத்துக்கொண்டு தான் இருக்கிறோம். தவறு செய்பவர்கள் மீது நிச்சயமாக தண்டனை கொடுக்கப்படும். விஜிலன்ஸ் ஏற்கனவே செயல்பட்டு கொண்டு தான் இருக்கிறது. மருத்துவர்கள் சென்று ஆய்வுலாம் பண்ணுகிறார்கள். இது ஒரு சமூக பிரச்சனை. பல அலுவலகங்களில் பிரச்சனை இருக்கிறது. சம்பந்தப்பட்டவர்கள் பிடிபடும் பொழுது அவர்கள் மீது கடுமையான நடவடிக்கை டிஸ்மிஸல் முதற்கொண்டு நடவடிக்கை எடுத்துக்கொண்டு தான் இருக்கிறோம்.
Well, on to some crime news. The state CBCID today busted a major prostitution racket in the city. 4 people alleged to have been pimps in this racket have been sent to Pual jail on judicial custody, and this includes the woman running this brothel as well. In fact, we have reports of a minor girl being forced into flesh trade at this house in Mogilavakkam near Porur, from where the minor girl was rescued along with 3 other women. One of the arrested pimps even claims to have been the assistant to a cinema director. And meanwhile, another woman was found dead in Mumbai last night. The body of a deputy general manager with Vodafone from Chennai, who was in official trip to Mumbai for training, was found dead in the swimming pool of the ITC Grand Maratha Hotel near Mumbai Airport. The 40-year-old woman is identified to be Indumati Subramaniam, who was the deputy general manager with Vodafone here in Chennai. The police have registered a case of accidental death, but say investigations are on to see if any foul play was involved.
चेन ऑफ एविडेंस ऐसा है इसके अंदर कि वो उनका ट्रेनिंग चल रहा था और ट्रेनिंग से वो तकरीबन 5 बजे के आसपास यहाँ पर आई हैं। आने के बाद उन्होंने ड्रेस चेंज किया है और वो स्विमिंग के लिए गई तकरीबन 6 बजे के आसपास। उनका नाम इंदु सुब्रमण्यम है, सी इज़ 40 है, सी बिलोंग टू चेन्नई। और यहाँ पर वोडाफोन में 3G का जो उनका नेटवर्किंग ट्रेनिंग है, 3G की नेटवर्किंग ट्रेनिंग के लिए वो लोग आए हुए थे यहाँ पर। उनके लिए उनमें GM और एडिशनल GM, डिप्टी GM रैंक के ऑफिसर्स पूरे इंडिया से यहाँ पर आए हुए हैं। हमने वेरीफाई कर रहे हैं, अभी हमने इसमें एक्सीडेंट डेथ रजिस्टर किया है एंड वी आर वेरीफाइंग ऑल द फैक्ट्स। मैटर ऑफ द इन्वेस्टिगेशन, वी कांट कमेंट ऑन द इनिशियल फैक्ट। वहाँ पर एक इनके एक विजिटर हैं जो वहाँ पर रुके हुए हैं और उन्होंने अपनी बालकोनी से देखा कि इस तरह से डेड बॉडी है, उसके बाद सब ने आके उसको बाहर निकाला।
Bangalore witnessed a gruesome murder today. A woman lawyer stabbed to death in the corridors of law in Karnataka. 25-year-old J.S. Navina was fatally stabbed in her neck and ear by a man wearing an advocate's robe in front of Court Hall number 4 of the Karnataka High Court at around 1:50 p.m. during the lunch hours. The killer was her colleague, believed to have been in a relationship with her, a senior advocate at the court. The man also tried to kill himself after stabbing Navina, although he was unsuccessful in his attempt and he has been admitted to a local hospital. Well, time to take a short break, but coming up on the bulletin, an NGO uses the football frenzy for a noble cause.